Mark, what'd you feel kind of in the first quarter when they were able to jump out to a big lead that they were able to execute on against you?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously were more ready to go. Credit them for pouncing on us like that. When you come off a long road trip, the first home game sometimes feels like, the fifth road game. And so some of that's expected, but we know that, and you got to be able to kind of overcome that earlier and quicker, because obviously after we stopped the bleeding there, we outplayed them for much of the game to make it competitive down the stretch. But the difference was the separation they were allowed to get in the first half.
Final, I think, 8 minutes and 15 seconds. You all only had one timeout, didn't have to use it until a strategic use late. What did you make of just maybe the continuity benefiting you in that stretch there of being able to execute, being able to come back from being down 12 without having to call a timeout, without having to huddle up and regroup?
Yeah, I thought our fight tonight was great, and not just in the last 8 minutes. I thought for most of the second half, and even some of the first half, after we got the game kind of stabilized in the second quarter, the fight and the competitiveness of the team was great. I thought we played them, pretty well, despite it not being a great shooting night. Like we played well enough to win for 36 minutes, and we needed 48. And credit them, they played the 48 and they held us off when we tried to get back into it multiple times.
Yeah, Mark, you guys kept getting within 3, 5, and just couldn't get over the hump. What did you feel like was the reason you guys couldn't just lay a punch and kind of get over that hump and take control of the game?
Sometimes it's like, you don't convert. They do. They made plays. Credit them. They made enough plays. I think, the zooming out, the lesson is when you are in a deficit like that, that's what a deficit does to you, is it really limits your margin for error for the rest of the game. Doesn't mean you can't come back and win. It's a 48-minute game. It was obviously a winnable game for us tonight. But, when you go down that much in the first half, it takes a lot of effort to get back in, and then it comes down to, a play here or there, and obviously there were 1 or 2 plays better than us tonight.
Anybody else for Coach? We can go last one to Myers.
Looked like their offense, they had a lot of movement, player movement, to really stretch your defense tonight.
Yeah, that's what they are. We know that from, how much we prepared for them last season. But if you can get into like a defensive rhythm against it and get a feel for it, then you can get them in some tough spots. And I thought, after the start of the game, which obviously we were way behind the ball, we did a pretty good job of that, including in the second quarter. I think we held them to however many points it was. I mean, we did a really good job defensively after that initial thrust. But it requires great focus and energy and execution, which we had, like I said, most of the night, but probably not as much as we needed it to start.
One more thing. With all the guys that you had to change your rotations and everything else, I guess you know if that's injury-wise, that's kind of the same, I guess, Sunday we get these guys back, I guess.
We'll see, but we're confident in the guys we have. I thought the guys that played tonight did a good job. I didn't think that was the determining factor in the game. Everybody in the NBA is dealing with injuries. I thought we had enough tonight to win if we had played well enough for longer, as we showed in Milwaukee and on this past trip.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.